Hey guys, first off I really want to apologise for not doing a video in so long. I'm so sorry. It's because my SD card basically corrupted itself. I don't think it was a very good brand, and it came with the camera. Obviously that was because it was cheap, it came with the camera. And it corrupted itself. I lost a lot of footage that I wanted to edit and upload for you guys, but I no longer can. And I obviously wasn't able to film until I got a new one, which I have just formatted and put in the camera, and we are all going well again, so I can now record. Basically, today you'll notice I'm doing a different style of video. I am sat down talking to you, not holding the camera out like this, which is a nice change for me. The purpose of this is I'm going to be starting a new playlist on my channel, essentially going through something I feel very strongly about, and that you might not know about. Basically, I am a care leaver, and this is like a very hot topic, because care leavers generally are perceived as not being successful, etc. Whereas, as you know, I am at uni, in halls, doing the course I want to do, at the institution I want to do it. So for me, in my eyes, I have been as successful as I could have possibly have been, which is wonderful. But the point of this playlist is for me to go about identifying the differences in being a student as a care leaver and being a student as someone who just came from their family, and seeing what the differences are, whether they're better or whether they cause more of a struggle or awkwardness, and that's what I'm interested to talk about, because obviously there are a lot of care leavers or children in care who see the statistics about children in care and think that that is going to be them, at which case they give up their ambitions and just let the tide take them, and they do then end up as one of those statistics. And obviously what I want to do with this playlist is hopefully people will see it, children in care and care leavers will see it, people who have lost ambition, and they will see that I'm on the course I want to do, I'm as successful as I could have been, and maybe that'll help them to see their ambitions and go for them again rather than giving up on it. This leads me on to talking about an article I saw on Facebook. This article came around because David Cameron released a statement about wanting change for children in care and care leavers. I have mixed feelings about this article. I think that it's wonderful that he has finally made a statement to say that he wants to support children in care and care leavers and social services, but at the same time that the article has a very negative view of children in care and care leavers. For example, in the first paragraph it says children and care leavers are almost certain to grow up in poverty. That is not always true. They will have often come from poverty or abuse, and that is why they're in care. But that does not mean to say that they will continue to be in poverty, or even continue to be in poverty after they have left care. If your prerogative is to be successful, and you have an action plan, and you leave care knowing what you want to do and how you're going to do it to be successful, then why should you have to live a life of poverty? You have it set up for yourself. The other thing it says, rightly it talks about education, because education is the main thing that children in care and care leavers struggle with. The part that worries me the most is that 84% of children in care and care leavers nationally do not obtain 5 strong GCSEs. I was aware of this already because my local authority, Hampshire Children's Services. When I got my GCSE results, I got a £75 cheque. I then inquired into why I got a £75 cheque, and it was because it was a reward for getting 5 GCSEs. Now, I worried about this quite a lot because obviously I didn't know about this at the time. I didn't know these statistics, but it did get me thinking in my head, if everyone got 5 GCSEs, they wouldn't spend £75 per person on them. Only a handful of people will get 5 GCSEs for them to be giving away £75 to every person that does. So even just from that, I knew that there was only a small percentage of people that actually came away from school well off. So I got my GCSEs, I went to college, and then I got to uni. So as far as educationally, college was a blip, but other than that, I've been successful. The other thing in this article that worries me is the statement that 70% of UK prostitutes were once in care. That's terrifying for a young child in care, a young girl, to read. Imagine me at 13, when I'd just come into my new placement, the placement I stayed at for 5 years. At 13, reading that article, thinking 70% of UK prostitutes have been in care. Right, that means, as a 13-year-old, that means that I'm going to be a prostitute. I know, like, from reading that, all I can see is I'm going to end up as a prostitute. And at that point, you give up all aspiration, because what's the point? I'm going to end up as a prostitute anyway, so I may as well not try. This is what I'm trying to avoid by making these videos, you see, because that's not the case. I'm not a prostitute. But I was a female and child in care. I'm not one of those 70%. It doesn't mean to say, just because there are people that have that happen to them, which is very sad, doesn't mean that it has to be you when you read those statistics. Yes, because the statistics are very high, they are very strong, and mean that you think that that is going to be you as well. And that is what I aim to avoid with making these videos. Hopefully people will find them and realise that that's not the case. The next issue is 4 times, if you're in care, you're 4 times more likely to commit suicide than anyone else. I believe that is true, to be honest with you, because with all of these negative statistics being rammed down your throat by articles left, right and centre, why wouldn't you? Because if that's what you think you're going to end up as, you're not going to want to do that, are you? Simple. Right, the next thing that irritates me about this article is the statement from David Cameron that says, "These children are in our care. We, the state, are their parents. And what are we setting up for them? The dole, the streets, and an early grave." That's true. That has always been true. Not necessarily though, because the children themselves are able to get themselves out of this situation, as have I and many of my friends. It's disappointing that only now in 2015 can David Cameron recognise and say that, because this has been going on for a very long time, especially considering the budget cuts of last year and early this year that have actually completely destroyed the social system and not actually helped at all with bettering the quality of life of children in care and care leavers. Does he come out with this statement, which is kind of ironic, but at the same time I'm very happy that he has come out with a statement that all children in care and care leavers have been thinking for years. That means he is now finally on the same page, he has caught up, and hopefully there will be a lot of change to come. I say hopefully because politics, and when does what has been suggested actually happen? For you to decide. Urgh. The next thing here with this article, sorry if you keep looking down, it's because I'm referring to the actual text, is the thing that says, "This shames our country and we will put it right." This gives me a little quiver of what are the motives here. Is it because like poverty, children in care and care leavers are a black mark on our country and we must fix it because it looks bad, or is it because actually we should fix it for the people that are in trouble? Which motive is it? That statement makes it feel like that we are a little bit of a disgrace to the country, so they're going to fix it for us so that they don't have to worry about it anymore. It's not a problem from outsiders looking in. You see, that's my little worry about the motive there. I'm not sure how true I am, I just think it's the wording of this article that I struggle with. He then states, poorly performing children's services departments will be taken over or told to improve. Basically, improve or be taken over. Same as what's been happening to schools for a long time. It has always been the case that schools have had an Ofsted report, and if you end up in special measures, you have a certain amount of time to improve, otherwise the school closes down and your kids will be transferred. Simple as. That's what happens. That's what has always happened with schools, and it is only now that he has decided that he wants to do the same kind of system with children's services. Fair play, it'll work, but you've got to think on a larger scale, how logistically possible is it? Because Hampshire Children's Services, the children's services I am under, even though I'm now moved, it's just where I was placed before, is a huge authority, and to try and think or ascertain of the amount of children in care or care leavers that are being supported by that one service, if they would have to relocate and reassign all of those children, I'm not sure they would logistically be able to do that. So it'd be interesting to see if this actually happens to any service, or whether they all manage to improve up to whatever standard he has set before that happens. The last ironic thing in the article, going back to a thing we've already talked about, is last month Cameron identified children's services as a standout area for reform ahead of the autumn spending review. i.e., we need to spend more money on children's services. Which is ironic to me after they just took away so much money from children's services. At the same time, I don't know. Have your own views, but mine are that this is very contradicting. I feel that he has done a lot of things that have caused a lot of problems, and now this statement is being released to stop people from complaining about problems caused. I don't know. At the same time, I'm happy with this article because it has made a statement that has been needed to have said for a long time, and that has been on the minds of a lot of people that I know, certainly. At the same time, I struggle with the article because it has a very negative outlook on children in care and care leavers, which young children in care will look at and think that that will be them, because the statistics are high. It makes it more likely. They look at those and think that's going to be me, therefore they give up, which is not what anyone wants. So this is the point of me speaking now, is that hopefully someone will see it, someone who's given up because they've seen a statistic or whatever and thought, oh, I'm not going to make it anyway, I'm going to end up like that. And hopefully they'll see this video and realise that doesn't have to be the case at all. I am a care ambassador for Hampshire Children's Services. What we are is children in care and care leavers who were under that authority, who have offered ourselves as kind of like advocates for other children in care across Hampshire. And although I've moved, I still do stuff for them, or limited, the stuff that I don't have to travel for, obviously, and still try and help out there. And that's where I get my strong views from, I think, is because I've always held quite strong views about children's services and support for children in care and care leavers, and that's why I became a care ambassador, and that's why I'm reviewing articles like this on my channel, because I feel very passionately about support for children in care and care leavers, and I hope that some of you watching have got something out of this video, have realised that you don't have to be a statistic of the articles that are written. and that you can be your own person and be what you want to be, and just because you're in care or have been in care doesn't mean that that is going to hold you back. Yes, you may very well need more support than your average Joe who still lives with their family, but if you push hard enough and rattle enough cages, I guarantee you will get that support, and you can be anything you want to be. And yeah, that sounds cliche, but it's true. Because here I am, and I've rattled a lot of cages in my life. I went once straight to John Coughlin, who is the director of Hampshire Children's Services, and I sent him an email directly once upon a time, and I got the support I wanted, the support I was after, and I am now at the uni that I've always wanted to come to, and on the course that I've always wanted to do. What better outcome could you ask for, really? And I want that for everyone, and that will take a long time. It will take a while to pick up the pieces and improve, but eventually I see a situation where children in care and care leavers are not inhibited by the fact that they don't live with their actual family. I see all equal kids who have all equal opportunities and skills and equal likelihoods of achieving them, not based on their family situation. And that is the aim of this new playlist, is for me to discuss with you on my channel the differences between being a student at Loughborough University as a care leaver and being a student at Loughborough University as an ordinary student who normally lives with their family. Obviously I use the term ordinary loosely because what is ordinary or normal? That's enough of the serious stuff for now. Sorry if you didn't enjoy this video, do not worry, I have all intention to keep doing my normal videos on other playlists on my channel, and I will still be filming over there. If you did like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and even leave a comment below of your opinions of the article or anything I've said in this video. I will be leaving the link to the article down below so you can all check it out, so you know what I was talking about, you have a bit of context into this. And I am really interested in seeing your views in the comments below. I will be carrying on with my normal videos, so do not worry. But until next time, goodbye!